Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Paige Brooks with Apex IT. I'm going to be moderating today's discussion. I'm joined with Anthony Mass with Oracle and Keegan Olson with Apex IT. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So we are hosting a two-part series where we're exploring the increasing demand for Click software customers needing to move off of their older, soon-to-be unsupported software. So today, we want to provide some quick insights into the drivers and benefits of moving from Click software to Oracle Field Service. So let's jump in. All right, Anthony, let's start with you. So what benefits have customers seen in transitioning from Click software to Oracle Field Service Cloud?
Well, I think probably the biggest benefit we're seeing is just with our clients' customers having a significantly improved experience, whether it's seeing where their technicians at in real time, getting updates, or even flexibility of using digital assistants to reappoint when they can't make the appointment date or want to make a change. So there's a huge amount of flexibility they're saying. I think the technicians as well in the field are just getting a big improvement in terms of their user experience, having all that information available in order to service that customer in real time, connections to the back office for assistance and help. It just makes a big difference. One of the key things that's really driving these efficiencies, though, is really kind of a fundamental difference between Click and Oracle in terms of how we book and appoint these customers. And Click has a model where they really appoint to a specific technician called direct booking. While we do that as well, we also offer appointment slots that really provide a lot more flexibility for the customer. It's all based on real-time capacity as well as quota metrics for your technicians. And what this does is ultimately drive the most efficient model possible when it comes to the appointment and setting, as well as the routing of those technicians in order to basically deliver all the services against those in-day tasks. So it's a huge change and in terms of flexibility for those Click customers that are moving over, and it just creates a lot more optimization across the business model. But Keegan, maybe you can talk a little bit more about some of these advantages in terms of how they're taking and really leveraging the technology as well.
Yeah, customers are really excited about this move because there's so much configurability in the tool, and they're able to take advantage of that configuration as they kind of redefine their processes. This move from Click to Oracle Field Service is much more of a process-related migration. It's not an IT, and these legacy Click customers are so surprised by how much can be done just through basic delivered configuration. So it's much less IT driven, more business driven, and that's really exciting. And we see a lot of customers as they are endeavoring migrating off Click onto Field Service, Oracle Field Service, doing a lot of consolidation and a lot of standardization across their business lines. They're able to take different business lines or business areas or regions that often are using multiple versions of Click or other, multiple different field service products, and standardize and consolidate onto a single global instance. And there's a lot of really great efficiency gains by having all of these different groups being able to work in the same harmonious standard environment, and a lot of efficiency gains and measurements that they can have that they didn't have previous to that.
So you mentioned consolidating multiple deployments into a single global instance for large enterprises. Anthony, what would you say is the best practice for consolidating different lines of business or regions transitioning from Click to Oracle Field Service?
Well, I think it all starts with the platform and the approach that Oracle's taken from development of that platform, which is a cloud-first approach. And if you look at what Click has done, sort of born in the on-prem environment, they created the ability to create lots of customization on that product platform, which on one end created a tremendous amount of flexibility, but it also created a massive problem behind it, which was the ability to support that product. And I think any of those Click customers out there know exactly what I'm talking about in terms of where they're at in their life cycle on their upgrades and their ability and ease and cost to keep that product current. So from our perspective, we took an approach of everything had to be configurable. We had to make it not just configurable, but also scalable across enterprises of multiple sizes, across multiple regions, different lines of business, and certainly the ability to support multiple industries. And it's this flexibility that we've incorporated through all of our experience with our customers across these various industries that have really enabled our customers to deploy this technology at a customer level, a regional level, a line of business level, and still maintain the ability to be flexible and configurable, but also create standards that are enforceable across specific, again, lines of business, regions, customers, however they want to really set that up. But it's really flexibility at both ends, all wrapped around a configurable platform. Now, I would say, Keegan, there's other things that customers are looking at in terms of best practices as they make that shift, and maybe you can, highlight those to our audience today.
And maybe also add on there too, Anthony, that there's just a breadth of capabilities is also really a differentiator for Oracle Field Service and the Oracle CX portfolio, because from a service standpoint, it encapsulates the full end-to-end service spectrum from the point of initial call all the way through the resolution and the completion of that job, and everything in between. You see on the slide here, there's all of these different areas of call intake to knowledge base to dispatching, routing, scheduling. All of these things kind of tie into the efficiency gains that we tie into these migrations, because these are not just a lift and shift. We really encourage our customers to take advantage of all of these different capabilities throughout that spectrum, because ultimately that drives back to that improved customer service and improving that customer experience, and also improving your employee, your technicians, your dispatchers, improving their experience in the call center so that they have the right information when they need it at the right time. It's connected to their inventory management system from a technician standpoint, so they know that they have the right parts for the right job, and they can collect the right information that the business needs to collect for that particular customer or for that particular type of job. That's ultimately where customers are just really excited about this, and these pieces can be adapted over time as well. So it doesn't have to be all at once. You can do bit by bit. If you start with the field service piece, or if you start with the call center piece, you can do it all at once, or you can deploy it in phases. And that's the flexibility is what customers really enjoy about this.
That's great. Okay, next question. Anthony, your customers who have moved from Click Software to Oracle Field Service Cloud have seen increases in routing productivity and technician efficiency, and in some cases have resulted in technicians completing up to 2 additional jobs per day. That sounds great. How is that possible with Oracle Field Service?
Well, that is great, and it is all possible. I think the big theme of today in terms of what's on our customers' brains is, not just how do I get efficiency in the jobs, but it's all about the talent. It's really challenging market out there in terms of talent acquisition, being able to retain them. There's a lot of movement in the market, and in some cases, our customers have overcorrected due to the pandemic and actually reduced the workforce to an extent that it's made it challenging to get the work done. So from our perspective, and I think Keegan did a great job highlighting those end-to-end capabilities around service, we look at this not just as how do we get the most efficient truck roll, which we can do, but we also look upstream and say, how do we actually get service deflection? So if we don't have to send a truck out to perform a job, that not only gets you a little bit more work out of your existing workforce, from an optimization perspective, but it really just makes the entire business operation that much more efficient. There's a lot of tools that are enabling our customers to do that, whether it's self-service, using things like AR video chat, knowledge, or just even enhanced triage. We make sure that we're going through that process, trying to avoid a service visit. And then when we do have to make a service visit, we're using things like our integrated service logistics for parts ordering, forwarding, as well as this understanding of the technician capabilities and really performance of how they perform each job to make those routing assignments. So we're really squeezing every last bit of efficiency out of the model, but it all starts at the front end. And this is due to the fact that we've got an end-to-end service solution that does a lot more than just the field service. But Keegan, maybe talk about some of the specific capabilities that are helping contribute to these additional jobs that our customers are being able to perform in the field.
Yeah, and I mean, you touched on it. The job market is tough, and sometimes customers are having to do more with less resources. So efficiency is such an important part of the story at the moment. And with field service, you can really, look at some of the tools that are available just out of the box. Things like making sure that the right technician with the right skill set is assigned to the job the first time, and that when they do need to, the truck does need to roll, that we're picking the right route. So the routing mechanism kind of takes into lots of different pieces. What their completion rate was in the past, who's the closest, who has the right skill set, things like that. So it learns over time, and that can also be adjusted from a dispatcher's standpoint. But making sure that they have the right information at the right time during that process, and also have the ability to leverage tools that are built in the system, the forms, so they collect the right information at the right time, or kind of having a lifeline to other technicians through the communication tools that are available and the collaboration tools, or leveraging something like a digital assistant or the knowledge base to get answers. So that way they're able to resolve that work order without having to come back or do that. And that's, the efficiency is just, again, paramount in this. We want to make sure that they get the job done right the first time, and that ultimately benefits the organization that is running the show, and also leads to better customer service. So that's what it's all about. And a
better technician user experience.
Technician user experience as well, right? They have to use one app instead of having multiple apps that may not be in a mobile friendly format, things like that. So there's so many great benefits on it, and we're excited, and our customers are excited to be implementing it.
That's awesome. I'd say efficiency and adaptability is always a good news.
Yeah.
It's awesome, guys. This has been great information. Thank you both for your time today. So this concludes part 1 of our series. Join us for part 2, where we're going to dive deeper into the customer outcomes and strategies for transitioning from Click to Oracle Field Service. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks.
Thanks, Faith.